welcome to highlights of round number 7 of the Formula SimRacing World Championship for 2020, brought to you by SimLab, 3D Wrap and IMB Racewear. Today we bring you the German Grand Prix from the Nurburgring, the first time that FSR has been at this circuit in over 7 years. However, it was a familiar face for us, with Yannick Simčić getting the pole position. However, Petr is just behind him, and behind that is also fairly close with Hoyer, Patel and Brakshock in 5th position. Craig Baxter is in 7th. PARISIS starts in 12th, and we know he likes a good alternate strategy, as Mohammed Patel has joined HM Engineering for the rest of the season, replacing Eros Mashuli. Carlos Martin returns for the first time since 2016 as well, so we'll see how they do around this 5.1 kilometre circuit with 2 DRS zones and plenty of overtaking opportunities. And as the lights come on, it's some familiar faces on the front row, but who will come out on top here in Germany? Only 3 races to go in the season after this one. It's crucial to get points, and Petr gets a really good start, challenging Yannick Simčić down the inside, but it's actually Michi Hoyer just behind, who's going all the way around the outside of Mohammed Patel, and is keeping this pretty nicely as they come through Sector 1, and everyone is getting through safely in the background as well, as Hoyer is now trying to hold on, and he does, as Mocek and Brakshock battle behind. However, Patel sees an opportunity coming towards the end of lap 1. He's going to dive up the inside because he doesn't want the top 2 to get away. And it's exactly what he does as he makes the move stick for 3rd place. As we come to the end of lap 1, all the field is staying pretty close together, and everyone has made it through safely. Matthias Coleman is battling with Luke Maguire, the 2 drivers starting from the pit lane. However, as he comes into the Sector 2 part of the track, he goes for a little bit of a spin, and this will eventually result in his DNF, which is a bit of a shame considering that number 4 car was on pole position last time in Silverstone. Lap number 8, and Petr thinks this is the time to strike, as Simčić is going fairly slowly at the front relatively, and he's going to try and go around the outside of turn number 1, but Simčić defends that rather nicely. Petr certainly putting the pressure on his championship rival here. And then 1 lap later, he tries the same just to show Simčić that he's not going to walk away with this too easily today, as there's a massive train of cars behind, all ready to pounce if there's a mistake from either one of these 2 drivers. Robin PANSAR in 11th place on the grid, starting on these medium compound tyres, having an awesome battle with Danny Vantini coming through the mid part of the track. It's just showing what he can do after having a bit of a rough start to the season. Petr then thinks it's the time to pit, and he comes into the pit lane on lap number 15. 1 lap later, Simčić and Patel pit, but Berlak gets past them and will take the lead of the race doing that undercut. Chris Shepherd and Thomas Vack battling in the midfield. However, it's only going to end in contact through turn number 4, and Thomas Vack losing it on acceleration, puts himself in the wall, and he will have to come in for some damage repairs. Berlak is leading the way. However, if you look just behind them, they've got Michi Hoyer, David Mocek and Janusz Brakshock, and then a number of other drivers not too far behind either, so the field's staying pretty close. However, Patel unfortunately disconnects from the race, and he will be out on lap 33. Also on the same lap, Craig Baxter has a bit of a graphical issue, and he actually couldn't see any part of the track, so he had to pull over. Luckily, got out of the way of everyone, and that was looking promising for him, but he is out of the race. As now Alex SEBEL is trying to make his way past Carlos Martin into turn number 1. A little bit of a quiet day for the Evolution Motorsports team. However, that is certainly a move that he would like, getting himself up another position. Now Michi Hoyer is battling his teammate David Mocek, because Mocek actually got past during the pit stop phase, and now Hoyer's going around the outside of turn number 1, which will give him the inside for turn number 2. And there he gets past his teammate up into what is now a podium position. Jim PARISIS diving it down the inside. Danny Vantini all over the grass. He's going to have to get it stopped, but he can't quite get it stopped in time. So Danny Vantini has the track position as they come through turn number 2. So PARISIS is going to have to switch back now for turn number 3. This first part of the track really giving these drivers some amazing racing. Now Petr is going to try and make an early pit stop again. However, He's going to get stuck behind Luke Maguire coming out of the pit lane, and this is going to be crucial for his undercut. And there, the HM engineering driver just gets in front of him, and this could really hinder his strategy as he's going to have older tyres towards the end of the race. 3 laps later, Jurnej Simoncic pits, but he has not lost anything. He is right behind Peter Burlak, and this could be crucial in the battle to come. Jurnej Simoncic realises this is his time to pounce, and he's going to use some quali boost, diving down the inside of turn number 1. A little bit of contact with Peter Burlak, but he does leave some room on the exit for his championship rival, but now Petter is not going to let this one go. He's going to go round the outside of the first part of the chicane. They both give each other just enough room, and they get through there nicely. Petter Burlak being just behind here as well means he's going to get DRS down the start-finish straight as well. But Simoncic is still there right in the slipstream, probably using some quali boost as well, staying right with the Croatian as they come down towards turn number 1. He's going to dive down the inside. Now he's going to back out and come to the outside as Peter Burlak retakes the lead. By the following lap, Simoncic comes back at him. But interestingly, Burlak does not defend. He lets Simoncic get down the inside on lap number 45 with only 15 laps to go. And this puts Simoncic in a good position because Peter Burlak, after this lap, couldn't quite stay with the Slovenian driver. His teammate, however, Jim PARISIS, stayed out a bit longer to go on the soft tyres, and he's going to be making some moves. Firstly, he's going to get past Danny van der Neet, but look, there's 3 cars just ahead of him that he's going to be looking to get past. That was lap 50, and now on lap 52, he's trying to get past Dennis Jordan, who's not having the best of days here, a bit further down the grid. But Jim PARISIS with the grip on the outside, tiny bit of contact with Dennis Jordan, but he's going to get the track position on the inside of turn number 2 and manage to get past that place, and now he's going to be working himself up into 8th position as he gets past Carlos Martin, who's actually been pretty impressive on his return to FSR. But it does not stop there, as he's now going to get past the Burst Esport driver of Robin PANSAR down into turn number 1. So that's 4 moves in 5 laps for the Greek driver, who once again is doing pretty well on that alternate strategy, now up into 7th place. A couple of laps later, and Carlos Martin unfortunately blows his engine, and he will not be taking any further part in this race, and he is going to be out. Dennis Jordan now battling Robin PANSAR down into turn number 1. This is for 8th position. There's only 2 laps to go in the Grand Prix, and starting to get very close here for the last few points. Can't quite make it work in turn number 2, so he's going to have to try again. However, Danny van der Neet is getting very close to Dennis Jordan, so if he's not careful, he might lose position here. We're now on to the final lap of the race, and these guys are battling for the final couple of points in 8th position. However, Jurnej Simoncic managed to hold on at the front, just getting enough that Peter Burlak couldn't challenge back in those final few laps, and Mitch Hoyer actually caught up to them, just showing the pace that he had today. So well done to Jurnej Simoncic, taking another victory and extending his championship. However, Danny van der Neet knows it's not over as Dennis Jordan gets a bit of a bad exit. Despite having DRS, Danny van der Neet's going to go round the outside of the kink, which means we have the inside of the chicane. Can he make it work on the brakes? Yes, he can. So Danny van der Neet makes that work on the final part of the race. So good job for Danny there. But what a race that was. It was all about the strategy and when you made your pit stops and if you got caught in traffic. However, there's plenty of overtaking opportunities as well. Robin PANSAR ended up getting a 10-second time penalty. So that actually drops him down out of the points, which means Luke Maguire, starting from the pit lane, will get that 10th position. Alex SEBEL getting 6th on a slightly disappointing day for Evolution, only in 6th and 9th position. However, in the championship, it is looking pretty good for Burst. Firstly, Simoncic is leading the way now by 29 points with only 3 races remaining, which means it's really in his hands with what happens in the championship. Peter Burlak is going to have to really win the last 3 races and hope that Simoncic doesn't finish second. So Simoncic is looking pretty good. But just behind them, Hoyer, Mocek and Alex SEBEL are looking pretty close, but the drivers of Jordan and Kwikel are also not too far behind, as Kwikel will be returning in the Netherlands. In the Constructors' Championship, the 2 Burst teams are only 4 points apart. However, Evolution Motorsports have just dropped off a little bit and are being closed in by Edge Esports if they're not too careful. The battle in the midfield is looking pretty good with HM Engineering Red, Ghost Speed, and also Netrex for some other teams not too far behind. And Ghost Speed Engineering, unfortunately, not scoring a point just yet. But that is about it here from the German Grand Prix. The next race will be the Dutch Grand Prix from the updated Zandvoort on the 12th of July. This has been the highlights for round 7 of the Formula Sim Racing World Championship, brought to you by SimLab 3D Wrap and IMB Raceware. And until Zandvoort, we wish you a very warm goodbye.